All right, welcome everyone to the Networking Expert Millionaire Marketplace. And I am so excited to have Miss Grace Barkwell here today because she is going to be talking to us about what can the plant of immortality do for you, do for us. And I'm really excited to hear about what she has to say and how we can improve our lives, the way we feel, the way we think. And you know what? I need a little bit of all of that today. It's been one of those days that I can just have a little bit more fuel in my body. So for the next 25-ish minutes, we're going to turn it over to Miss Grace. Thank you, Grace, for being here with us tonight.
Well, thank you, LaDonna, for having me. And it's just a delight to see all my friends here. And we'd like to welcome who is watching this on the replay as well. Well, what is the plant of immortality? It is the reishi mushroom, and LaDonna has a photo of it with all its benefits and the heart that she's going to put up. And I will speak about each of the benefits because we use the healing energy of that reishi mushroom. That reishi mushroom has been around since God created day 5. And the ancient Chinese people realized its importance. And because they were a dictatorship, basically, with emperors, the emperors decided that it would be only for them and nobody else. So if someone was caught with the reishi mushroom, they would have their hand cut off. And then if they were caught with it the second time, they would have their head cut off. And that's how important it was. Well, the first word we see here is adaptogen. What does adaptogen mean? Adaptogen means a natural substance that helps the body to adapt to stress and exert normalizing effect on the body's process. And how many here have stress and have felt more stress and more stress as time goes on? We all feel stress, and this is an adaptogen. And also, one other thing about the reishi mushroom, it has 50% of the DNA that we have. And that is, it helps our bodies. But I believe that's the way God created it, because he created everything on the same kind of basis so that everything would all work together. And it works together with our body as an adaptogen, as I've already said. And it is anti-allergy. It helps people who have allergies to deal with their allergies so that they don't even feel them. I had allergies to like dust in the air and things like that, and I would get all stuffed up. But when I drink my coffee and teas, I don't have that problem. It is anti-anxiety, it says right here. And who doesn't feel anxiety these days? It really helps with that, because in the morning when I wake up, not only do I feel tired, but I'm feeling anxious. What is this day going to hold? And I have my coffee while I read the Our Daily Bread with a story about something either in the far past or recently, and also with Bible verses as well. And today was so great because it showed what our purpose is in life. And the second one is antioxidant. antioxidants inhibit oxidization, and it counteracts free radicals in our body. It prevents Alzheimer's and vision problems. The next one is antiviral. And we all know what viruses are. And we all know that anti means it's against. So it's against viruses, antiviral. And I was introduced to this properly through a doctor just as I was at the end of my shingles. And you know, that is caused by a virus. A very bad one, because I was in terrible, terrible pain. And I was just kind of getting over it. And friends of mine took me from Whitby into Toronto to hear what the doctor had to say. And he had a lot of amazing slides, and it's all in a video, so I don't have them all, but I have some of them. Now, this is also down here, cancer prevention, and it keeps cells under control. The cells that create cancer are not under control, and they do divide abnormally. So it keeps these under control, but also you can keep these under control yourself through certain actions that you do. For example, cut out sugar. Cancer eats sugar. That is one thing that you can do yourself. And so it also gives you cardiovascular support. So it supports your heart, and your heart pumps your blood, and it supports all that whole cardiovascular system. So gives your heart health. Now the next word is hepatoprotective. What does that mean? Well, it prevents damage to the liver. It improves liver function, and that it also is includes into the adaptogen that helps the body. Now, the next one is lowers blood pressure. And I could tell you I've had experience with that too, because the shingles just skyrocketed my blood pressure. So I had to go to a doctor, and he confirmed that my blood pressure was too high. He gave me pills for that, and it lowered it. And then when I ran out of pills, since I had been drinking the coffee and taking the sport capsules and drinking the tea, I didn't need the pills anymore. But as soon as I stopped, because I ran out, I needed to run to my doctor again to get the pills again. So I'm trying to do my best to keep the coffees and the teas in my house so that I can lower my blood sugar and my blood pressure, and hopefully get off the pills eventually as my blood pressure is lowered. And it lowers cholesterol. Now, when you reach a certain age, usually the doctor recommends you take a cholesterol pill. The doctor did that for my husband, and I'm not too happy about that. But did you know there are good cholesterols and bad cholesterols? And this will help with the bad cholesterol. So it will lower the bad cholesterol in your body. Now, if you know anyone who has had cancer and has had to have radiation, it will heal the radiation damage. It has helped people in the past, and it will help others as well. It helps it to heal faster. And protection. Protection against what? A protection against many diseases, not only AIDS, but E. coli and all the autoimmune diseases. It protects against those. And it regulates your blood sugar. And I have less desire for sugar. And I am now using monk fruit in my coffee. And that sweetens it up a little bit, but without sugar. So I am cutting out sugar and slowly but surely cutting out sugar. And definitely I've got it cut out of my coffee. So with the monk fruit, it regulates the blood sugar, as we said, and it supports the immune system. I get less colds and flus. It also regulates pathogens. It helps with pathogens and also parasites that are in your body. It helps with that too. And also viruses and bacteria. As it says, it's antiviral, it's also antibacterial. And traditional bronchitis. Yes, it helps to clear the bronchial tubes. Also, the cordyceps mushroom in the red tea and in the royal coffee also helps clear your bronchial tubes as well. Now, other things that are not mentioned here are diabetes. Now, there was a lady that Dr. Bob helped with the diabetes, and he gave us a picture of her 10 toes, and many of them were black already because of the diabetes, and her toes were dying. And he put her on the spore capsules, 2 capsules every waking hour. This is for drastic illness that he recommends that dosage. And she took those for 3 weeks and came back to him. And what happened was he got pictures again, and the toes that were dead unfortunately fell off, but the toes that were only partially damaged, they cleared up and they were healed. It is also anti-aging because of the reishi mushroom and the other mushrooms. And Ganoderma lucidum, which is in the reishi mushroom, means shiny skin. Because you may know that derma means skin, and lucidum has to do with light or shiny. So it's shiny skin, Ganoderma lucidum. So shiny skin, brighter skin, clearer skin, cleaner skin. It's also good for athletes. It helps them with their performance, better performances. And Dr. Bob has helped some athletes, as you can tell. I put a couple of pictures. LaDonna will show you the pictures. Grace,
I did not get those added. I'm sorry.
Oh, she didn't get those added. Well, Dr. Bob has helped some famous athletes, including Manny Pacquiao, Evan Holyfield, and his dad. And there's many other athletes that he has helped. They've gone all the way to Houston, Texas, because, you know, they're wealthy athletes. And they've seen him in person, and he's helped them to perform better. And he had one athlete, Ulysses, whom he helped, and he beat another athlete, in a race because it really helped his performance. Now, these are all the different kind of coffees that we can have. The black coffee, well, it says what it does, although you can barely read it, but the black coffee is the least expensive. They all help improve your energy, and they all have antioxidants in them for you. And as they all, well, the cane coffee, because it has spores in it, helps with you with your longevity, live a longer life. And I also would recommend the spore capsules because they have helped people really a lot. And even with Alzheimer's, there was one lady, a senior lady in a senior's home, and her daughter would go visit her all the time. And the senior lady, she didn't recognize her daughter, couldn't say her name, nothing. And she got on the coffee and the spore capsules, and she was on them for a while, 3 weeks to a month. I can't remember the exact time, but it wasn't too long, it wasn't really long. And her daughter came in and she says, "Oh, Donna, how are you today?" And she could say her name. It was so exciting. It was just wonderful. And you can see the royal coffee, which I have here. It is the third one, and it also helps with your brain health. And it helps with your brain health because it has the lion's mane mushroom in it, as well as the reishi mushroom, and it also has the cordyceps mushroom for your breathing. They have all been revered for centuries, and they are all excellent for your health. Organo Gold, all these coffees have been endorsed by Forbes magazine, Women's Health magazine, Women's Day magazine, Good Housekeeping, and Vogue. So it's in the Vogue when you're drinking these coffees, and this tea as well. This one is the red tea, and it's actually a golden color and is very mild. So when you make a teapot of this tea, a big teapot, and drink that tea, it helps your lungs and your skin and everything else, all the antiviral, antibacterial, all those other properties. But if your tea happens to get cold, don't worry about it and do not throw it out, because you can use it to make an iced tea, and you can put anything in it. You can put all these different kinds of fruits. You can put strawberries or cherries, or you can put citrus fruits like oranges and lemons and limes in it, and make a fabulous iced tea out of that. And then whatever you do, don't throw away the tea bag, because especially if you're a gardener, what you can do with the leaves in the tea bag is you can put them in the dirt around your plants and use it as a fertilizer, and it will help your plants grow. Now, this is the lion's mane. This is the lion's mane right here. And and then the next one is the cordyceps, number 6. That's the cordyceps. Yes, that's the cordyceps mushroom, and that's the one that helps your lungs and your bronchial tubes. And because they're all natural, they will help fertilize your plants. So that's very exciting. Now, this is the OrganoGold head office in Richmond, BC, which is a suburb of Vancouver. So you can walk from Vancouver to Richmond. It's just a little suburb. I think maybe you have to take a bridge because there's a lot of islands around there. And So, and this is the Organo Gold head office at night, and you'll notice that it is shaped like a cup, like a coffee cup. So it's very exciting. The coffee, the reishi mushroom for Organo Gold is grown in logs naturally, just like they are in the forest. And that makes them more colorful. It also makes them able to produce the spores, which are like seeds. But if you grow it in a bag, like some companies do, it doesn't get to live together. And the mycelium is like the roots, and the roots all communicate with one another and they help them grow. It's a community. It's like collaborating with one another. And when they have these roots all working together, then the plant is healthier and it's darker reddish brown color, and it produces the spores. So that's why we have the spores and others do not. And the spores have two shells that need to be cracked. And Organo Gold has figured this out and can crack those two shells so that the spores are effective 95%. And the other one's only like 10% because they can't crack the shells, or they don't even have them at all. And also, our coffee is certified clean, and it's tested for herbicides, insecticides, fungicides, mold, mycotoxins, heavy metals, and other serious toxins. So it doesn't have them in it like other coffees do. And they monitor the process all the way through the whole thing. And so that's what they do. That's what they do. And so you can be sure that it is the highest quality. They have certifications. They have 6 or 7 certifications. There's eco-friendly, and to name a few, as well as halal and kosher. All of these certifications to let people know the high quality of the coffee. So there, as you saw, there's 6 coffees. There are 2 teas, the red tea that I spoke of, and also a green tea. And the green tea tastes like a green tea. It just has the added reishi mushroom. That's all. And there's 1 hot cocoa. And the hot cocoa has no caffeine in it. So it is safe for children. And there have been children who have taken this. And one gentleman that I know, the dad, he gave that to his child because she had ADHD, and she would run around the classroom. She'd run around all the desks and she couldn't calm down. And so he gave her that, and she calmed down, and the teacher noticed, and everything was all wonderful until they ran out. And he ordered more, but had to wait a while for it to come in. And the little girl, she was running around the classroom again, running around all the desks. And the teacher called the dad and said, "What's the matter? She was calmed down for a while, and now she's running around everywhere, has no attention span." And he says, "We ran out of the hot cocoa." So then he got it, and she started taking it again. And then it calmed her down again, and she was able to focus her attention on what the teacher said. So that is an example of how the hot cocoa helped. And also there was another little boy, and he had a very bad stutter. And his dad gave him the hot cocoa. He was being tormented at school, really bullied because of his stutter. And after his dad gave him the hot cocoa, the stutter slowly went away, and he could speak properly and not get bullied by the children in his school. It really helped him. And that's a couple of stories about the hot cocoa and children. And I would just like to end this to say that this is a quality product. And I've given you all these reasons and all these benefits for you. For you and anyone else you know. If you know anyone who has any of these problems whatsoever, then give me a call, give me an email, and let me know, recommend me to them, because we can, give them the coffee, tea, or hot cocoa for every day. And if they have something drastic, we'll make sure that they get the spores, 2 capsules a day for 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And it's incredible. So I'll
Awesome.
leave that with you.
Awesome. I have a couple of questions for you. Grace, I learn something every time you talk about your products, because you can't absorb it all in one talk, I don't think. So you're talking about the capsules. Do you take those every day forever? Because you have mentioned 3 weeks. So
Well, okay, so 2 capsules every waking hour for about 3 or 4 weeks. And then you can reduce it gradually. Now on the bottle there, it says that you're supposed to take 2 capsules 3 times a day. So with breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you would take the 2 capsules those 3 times. So that is the average. I also love the mycelium capsules because that helps with your brain function as well. And I took them before the Royal Coffee came out. The Royal Coffee has, as we talked about, the lion's mane, which helps your brain function as well. But as soon as I can, I'm going to get the mycelium as well, because I am going to be 70 years old on Monday.
congrats, Grace. That's awesome. And you don't look a day of 70, let me tell you, or even 60. You look so vibrant and you have so much energy. I hope I look and feel as good as you do when I'm 70.
Well, thank you. I just had more of my coffee, so that gives me more energy and
There you
more
go.
shiny skin and everything.
We're
Go.
enjoying our red tea.
That's awesome.
Oh, fantastic.
Hot
Yes.
this time.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So
Yes, it's really good for if you're having problems with phlegm, to drink that red tea hot. That is perfect.
absolutely, absolutely. That's great. Okay, so Abby or Dar, what questions or comments or concerns do you have for our Grace today? Dar, anything?
Abby's muted. She's trying to say something.
Okay.
I was about to say something, yes. I am very for what you're doing. We've had the products, we've had the King coffee, we've had the cocoa, and there was latte we had. We've had a variety of things over the years, and I really believe you've got something here.
Well, thank you, Abby. What's your favorite?
Oh, cocoa. It's got to be the cocoa.
Oh, I know, it's totally delicious. And as I've told you, it has great effects for calming. And it also, for adults, if they have it like in the evening, maybe after dinner, or even as dessert, because it tastes so good, that it helps you to sleep better at night because it calms you down.
Now, see, I would think the cocoa would make you more alive, more awake, more
Well,
energy.
that'd be the sugar aspect.
Yes, because most hot cocoa does have sugar in it, but it also has caffeine in it. Whereas our hot cocoa does not have caffeine in it. And also the reishi mushroom counteracts the sugar in it. You will taste the sugar. I do taste the sugar when I have hot cocoa, but it counteracts the effect. And one thing that Dr. Bob did in a live demonstration was that he had someone who was diabetic take the test and then drink the hot cocoa, and they had no change. Usually it would spike the sugar, like a regular hot cocoa would spike their sugar. But our hot cocoa did not spike their sugar at all. So they realized that it was safe for them to drink.
I will
Right.
definitely grab some of that before cold weather because Mark loves a good hot cup of cocoa. But being a diabetic, that's never good. So that's good.
No, it's not good for your regular
Mhm.
hot cocoa, but actually, yeah, he did that test live in front of an audience of people.
Yes, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's good to know. That's awesome. And I was just thinking I have a packet of red tea to try. So I think tomorrow I will try the red tea because I haven't tried that yet. But I do love the coffee. So does the blue package of coffee, does it have all the greatness in it?
Yes, it does. It has the reishi mushroom, the lion's mane, and the cordyceps, and no sugar and no creamer. It's just,
So what's the difference in that coffee than the other coffees you have?
well, the black coffee just has the reishi mushroom in it. The king coffee has the reishi mushroom plus the spores. And that is a very healing coffee. And the royal coffee in the blue packet here, royal black, has no sugar and no cream, but it does have the lion's mane and the cordyceps mushrooms as well as the reishi mushrooms. So you've got all three of those mushrooms, and it is powerful. It gives me lots of energy. When I wake up in the morning, I'm like, oh, thank you, Lord, for this day, I think. And then I have my coffee and I'm awake and energetic and I'm alert. So that's what happens.
Awesome. And I know that I'm out of that coffee and I can tell a difference and I'm gonna have to reorder it because I'm just gonna be honest with you, I thought, oh, I don't want to pay that much for coffee, right? But I've been out now for about 2 weeks and I can really tell the difference from not having that coffee. And I only drink 1 cup in the morning. But by the afternoon, I can really tell the difference between having a different coffee and having that coffee. And so even my husband said the other day, I don't care how much it costs, just get it. Because if it's going to help you get through the day without having to go take a nap or be drowsy and not functional, it's worth, you've got to put a price on what your health means to you.
Yes, absolutely. And the royal coffee, because it does have the extra 2 mushrooms in it, is more expensive than the black coffee. But for me, being 70 on Monday, I find it worth it to help me get through the day. And yeah, I love it. I love it.
All right, perfect.
Also, I like the taste of the royal better than the black, but because I find the black, it's a dark roast, and this is more of a medium roast.
Gotcha. Okay, Dar, did you get a picture of us before LaWanna?
Oh, no,
Okay,
I did not, unfortunately.
that's all right. She had a phone call come in. Go ahead and get us now.
Okay, everybody smile. Okay, got it.
Awesome. If you can post that in the chat. everyone, please go ahead and when you get done here, go ahead and go to your social media, put it in the chat, put it in your comments, post it wherever, and also make sure you go to our Facebook group and post it there as well. We are going to go ahead and go into the marketplace. If anyone has a product that they want to pitch, we can go ahead and pitch. Abby, did you have anything to pitch today?
Yes, I have my sorry, I just was thinking which one, but the one I'll go with is my digital cafe every Thursday night at 7 p.m. and it's free for everyone. Just sign up and it's the same link every week. So it's an opportunity to chat about computers or whatever. And so hopefully everyone will attend.
Awesome. Thank you.
And I'd like to give a testimonial for Abby. Abby knows the stuff she's talking about, all the computer stuff. Abby is very helpful. And I think that'd be a good thing to do to learn more about your computers. I have been so busy on Thursday nights, but I think it's a great thing to do. I think it's a wonderful opportunity.
Absolutely. And I've been to her classes on Thursday, not thinking I was going to learn anything because I really don't want to learn anything about computers, of how to fix them. And that's what I thought it was going to be about, but it's not. It's about so much more. I'm not saying it's not about fixing computers. It is, but she makes it so realistic and answers whatever questions you have about so many things. You know, one night I was on there, some lady brought up something about her cell phone. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know my cell phone needed to be cookie-ized or whatever, or cleaned up, or, you know, I had no idea until Abby said something about it. And it's great that she lets people ask her questions and then she answers them. That's, I love. Dar, do you have anything that you want to pitch today?
Well, I've got 2 spots open for new customers this month, August. So if anybody, you're one of them, by the way, LaDonna. I've got you as my first, and I got 2 others to fill. Anyway, if anybody would like to have cards purchased in the month of August, that would be great. And if you get the 10 card package, you get 10% off with the promo code 10 cards. Is it, Abby?
Yes.
All small letters, all no numbers, all no spaces.
10 cards.
10 cards.
Awesome. And Dar, you know that mine, no rush. I don't need mine until around the 13th of the month. So, you
Yep.
know, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I always keep an order with Dar. I don't want her to get filled up and I don't get my order. You know, my next order with Dar after this will probably be in October. You know, we have Halloween. I have another. Then November's Thanksgiving, and we go right into the rollover of birthdays, and you know, and everyone loves having Dar's cards. They just do.
I never heard a negative about them.
No,
Well,
ever.
Heart.
Yes. I received a card from you, LaDonna, that was Dar's cards, and it's beautiful. And I don't know why you chose to send me one with a butterfly on it, but that was perfect because I love butterflies.
Luck of the draw. Funny thing is, I sent a card.
Yeah.
One of the cards. Sorry, go ahead.
This past summer, my husband took me to the Butterfly Conservatory in Niagara
Oh,
Falls.
I love
And it was
going
so
there.
fantastic. I love those butterflies. So Dara, I'll give it back to you because you won.
Yeah, thank you. No, I was just gonna say I sent a card to, I think everybody here knows Marty Green, and the green and his card happened to be green, and I didn't plan it. It was just the luck of the draw.
Oh, every card is just magical because it's like she always hits it right on the, you don't know why these things happen. They just happen. Every card, even when, I've sent several to my daughters, my granddogs, my grandchildren, and they all fit. They just all fit. And I just love that. I just love that. So yes, I wouldn't miss a chance of not having. So I always keep an order with Dar in advance. She knew probably 2 months ago, August is my next order,
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm telling you now, after that, it'll be probably a couple orders in October, toward the end of
Christmas and
October.
Halloween. You and Jen both.
I
I had a chat with Jen
love
yesterday.
thank you cards. And, unfortunately, sometimes I need to send a sympathy card. And Dar's always good about making sure she grabs one and gets it made and put in the mail for me.
Yeah,
Because I don't know when we're going to need one. And
it's
sometimes
actually
it's just, to brighten up someone's day. Don't forget about cards that do that for no reason whatsoever. Let's just brighten up someone's day.
that's right. Would you like to see one? I'm looking for ideas.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh,
That's the
that's a
outside.
perfect Texas card.
I know, right? And
Oh,
that's just an opener, and I cannot. It's supposed to be a birthday card, but a masculine birthday card, but I don't know what to do with it. So I'm gonna probably put a panel that says happy birthday here.
you do so many things with that.
Yeah,
You
but
know,
it's the inside I can't figure out.
gosh, I love that pop out. Would you call it
Yes,
pop out?
yes, that's a pop out.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I think you should put another horse on there or just a horseshoe.
Yeah, just a horseshoe. I have to see if I have one. I'm not sure if I have a horseshoe, but it would be easy enough to make.
Yes. And you could do the horseshoe on the front and on the pop out.
Yeah, yeah,
Everyone
exactly.
wants a
But
horseshoe or a horse rope.
I don't know if I have anything like that, but it's doable.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is what I worked on today, was learning how to do this.
Yes. I love the horse. Oh, even a cowboy hat. Maybe you have a cowboy hat.
Yeah, I definitely have a cowboy hat in there somewhere.
There you go. Cowboy hats would be great. Doing the cowboy boot.
Um, I think so, actually. I think I just got some.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
all of that goes with, a barn. Maybe if you have a barn,
I even have a barn. I thought of that, but
put
I
a
think the barn's too
red
big.
barn on that pop out with a lasso. I could come up with all kind of country horse
Texas
stuff
ideas.
because that's what I love. Just to give you, probably nobody else even knows this. We used to have horses that we would show, the girls and I.
Oh,
Yes,
cool.
show horses, paints, and we had 1/4 horse, and the others were 7 paints and 1/4 horse. And
Wow.
we had them in our barn. We always had one in a trainer, always one at the vet. The vet was always at the barn. But then the girls started driving and they just got where they weren't interested. And I thought, you know what? Horses are expensive. And when they
Uh-huh.
decided they weren't going to show anymore, and then they got where they only rode maybe once a week, once every other week, I thought, it's time for the horses to be sold.
Yeah. It was
So
awesome. The girls were able to have that experience because
oh, absolutely. Mark was so good. I tell you, I picked the best daddy for them girls. He would load up those horses in the horse trailer with all of our horse gear and saddles and our show gear. We had the show jackets and pants and all of the tops and shirts and cowboy boots of all kinds.
Wow, expensive hobby.
Us wherever we were going and get them all ready and cleaned, and it was an experience.
I can only imagine. I've been at horseback riding maybe 4 times in my whole life.
We used to love to ride, and you know, one thing that's on my bucket list maybe is I would like to take a family horse ride where we could all get on horses and ride
On your
together.
bucket list.
And I think it's doable. I think we can do it. The baby's getting older now. He's 5. He could get on a horse with us, if not by himself. But you know, they have what we call the dead horses, where you know they're just living. They don't have any more gallop in them. They're older horses. It would be perfect for him to ride on.
Aw.
So yeah. So that's one thing I would like to do with my family.
Mhm.
Okay. Grace, do you have a pitch for us today that you want to tell us about?
No, I was going to talk about horses.
Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Well, one thing that you might not know about me is I took a 2-week horse course in Caledon, Ontario,
Woohoo.
and we had to learn everything about horses. And guess what my university college paper was about? The nutrition of horses. You know, I've always
Of
loved
course.
nutrition and health. And on the last night when we were typing up our essays, of course, we were up all night, all-nighters. One of the guys decided to do his all-nighter in the barn. And he came running up to the dining room where we were, and he told us that this one horse was giving birth to a foal. So
That is the most magical thing. That is the most magical thing, let me tell you.
Wow.
And that was 3 o'clock in the morning, because horses love to do it at night when nobody's watching. But we all ran down and we watched the horse give birth. And of course, every birth is a miracle. So it was wonderful.
Yes.
Unrepeatable miracles at that.
Yes, absolutely. It's amazing. I've never seen one completely birth, but we had one born in our barn, and every day we would get up, the girls would run to the barn to see if mama had that baby yet. Every day after school, you know, I'd check on her a couple of times throughout the day. And then right after school, the girls would run to the barn to see if there was a baby. Darn it, she had the baby while I was gone to pick up the girls from school.
Oh.
It would take me maybe 30 minutes to drive
Oh.
home, you know. But we seen her, the baby getting cleaned up. I mean, she had just given birth.
Oh.
It was amazing for the girls to see it. It was true. They were teenagers at the time, probably 12 and 15. So truly amazing. Maybe even, you know what, maybe even a little younger. So it was truly amazing. So yeah, it was life is full of miracles, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. The probably the only farm experience I had was my aunt and my uncle owned a chicken farm. And their chicken barn had rows and rows and rows of chickens. I never seen so many chickens all at once in my whole life. And even looking back now, even now I have never. And we would always be excited about getting to go and help collect the eggs. And there was always a contest, like who can pick the most eggs without dropping it. And that's closest farm experience I've ever had.
And what I love about chickens, I love seeing them run around the yard. I love hearing the rooster in the morning.
Yeah, I got a story about it.
The smell is horrific. I would have chickens here on my property if it wasn't for the smell.
Yeah.
Neighbors have chickens and they had their own fresh eggs. But even when I get too close to the property line on that side, I can smell the chicken.
Mm,
And
yeah.
it's a horrible smell. And I just can't do that. I can't, but I love fresh eggs though. I
Yes.
do love fresh eggs. So, all
Yeah.
right. So with that said,
Yes, my uncle had chickens, and it was great to have fresh eggs there. And my deal is take the 1 box challenge, choose whatever box of coffee or tea that you would like, and I will send you a survey, and you can fill it out, and you can note how that the coffee not only tastes, but how it makes you feel. And just as LaDonna says, it makes her feel better, it makes me feel better. And I'm sure for Abby and Dar, it makes them feel better too. Yes, yes.
yes.
So that's why we have this, to so that you can record how it makes you feel, and when you feel just more alive and more energetic and healthier.
Yes, health is worth the money. I mean, I didn't feel the difference in my first cup of coffee. Some people may. It took a good week and a half, and then I started feeling the difference. The brain fog was number one, and then I could get through the day with just a little cat nap, and then I could get through the day with no nap, and then I could get through the day feeling alert.
I would love to get to that.
And but like I said, I thought, oh, I'm not going to spend the money, and I'll go back to my not cheap coffee, but I still buy an expensive coffee, but not like this. Guess what? It doesn't have the ingredients that Grace's coffee has.
No, exactly.
No matter, I mean, it just doesn't. It's got great ingredients, but not like Grace's coffee. And I know it's not called Grace's coffee, it's called Organo, but to me, it's Grace's coffee because Grace is the one that's taught me all about it and still learning. So, all
I
right.
wish we could.
Don't forget, in the morning, we have Ask LaDonna.
Mhm.
Then we have our last class, Dar, for our series that you have been doing with me. And then tomorrow afternoon, I have my free class that's all about self-care. It's a busy day
Oh,
for us, but all different.
who's speaking?
I'm sorry?
Who is speaking? You?
Me, and
Oh,
me.
you and you. Cool. Um, can I tell you a funny story? You are gonna laugh your head off.
I'm sorry?
Um, do you remember one of the last events you had? There was somebody named Madonna.
Yes.
Abby and I started laughing. Her and I are so on the same wavelength. It is uncanny. And when you said, LaDonna, come on down, we both thought you said, LaDonna, come on down. I was laughing my head off. And there was another one. Um, somebody was talking about we were talking about maple syrup. And I think it was you, LaDonna, that mentioned about the Aunt Jemima syrup. And
Yes.
then Grace goes, "Excuse me, I have to go off
Yeah.
on mute because I could hear her laughing as she was turning it off because our maple syrup is not Aunt Jemima." So
Well, and I got off of here, and you got to remember, I know I bring up my husband a lot, but he is my very best partner, life friend. He is my go-to talking partner. And I get off and I said, the girls just told me Aunt Jemima's not real.
it's not. We call it plastic. We call it plastic.
It's artificial this, artificial that. I'm like, but it's $8 a bottle now. What are we paying?
What? We can't even get Aunt Jemima syrup here now.
Okay, so sugar-free syrup is cheaper than the Aunt Jemima syrup, but he has to have sugar-free because of his diabetes. But there's nothing good in that syrup for you. That's why you can't have it very often. I mean,
We're
it's
gonna send you a sample soon. We're gonna send you a little
awesome.
Happy Meal package.
So, but for me, it literally makes my stomach hurt when I eat pancakes or waffles or anything with sugar-free syrup. And I don't know why. There's something in it that my body, it literally makes me.
It's the non-sugar.
And then so he buys me the Aunt Jemima because so far that's been my favorite syrup. I don't like the other syrups.
And there's
If I'm
you have
going,
no other syrup there to try?
yeah, we have all kind of, different different brands, but Aunt Jemima is a little thicker. I don't know, it's just richer. And I
I
said,
used to like it.
told me syrup is made in Canada. I had no idea. And he's like, well, I'm sure, our Aunt Jemima is made in the US, but it's not real, LaDonna. And I'm like,
No.
I was floored.
I know if it's not 100%,
when you
just
come,
remember, if it's not 100% maple syrup, it's not maple syrup.
absolutely. So I can't wait. I even got on Amazon to try to buy it. It wasn't there when I tried it, but my daughters told me they probably have it here and there. And I found it oh my gosh, online. It was going to be so expensive to get it. I can't pay $30 for a bottle of syrup.
Well, I gotta Google this, but it takes a lot of effort and work to make maple syrup.
Oh, I'm
40 gallons of sap to 1 gallon of syrup. Now, the reason why I'm saying gallons and not liters is because I helped my uncle do it. I helped
Oh,
my uncle gather the sap when I was a child, a
wow.
teenager.
If you're driving, last quick thing about maple syrup, if you're driving south on Highway 11 to get through Barrie, at the north end of Barrie, there used to be a place that made maple syrup. And you could go in and you can watch the big machine and the boiling the sap and even have a sample of maple water. God, it's so good.
love to see. I'm amazed to watch things happen. Like we went to Wisconsin and I had to go and look up where they made cheese and made Mark take me to see how cheese is made.
Nice.
I love to see how stuff is made.
I saw I saw a tour of in a paper mill one time with my girlfriend. We went
oh,
camping 20 years ago. That was so fascinating.
I just love all of the greatness of life.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just do. All right,
Well,
ladies. So don't forget tomorrow, a big day. I hope to see you guys there. Bring all your questions for Ask LaDonna. You never know what you're going to get.
that's right. You just have to ask me.
There you go. All right. Bye-bye.